Unit 1. Skills Test. Listening. Listen to a boy called Andy Johnson talking about his experience of being colourblind. Complete the sentences, 1 to 10, with a word or short phrase.
And now it's time for our series I Did It on living with difficulties. Today, Andy's here to talk about his experience of living with colourblindness.
Hi everyone. I only realised I was colourblind when I couldn't tell the difference between pictures in books at school. The colours looked the same to me. But I'm not alone. Amazingly, around 2.7 million people have the condition in the UK. I found that statistic surprising, particularly that it's more men than women. So, what causes it? It happens when the back of the eyeball, that's the retina, doesn't have things called cones, which enable people to see colours. For example, yellow and green may both look yellow. That's true in my case, and for me it's so confusing when I'm shopping for clothes. Not so much for things like socks or gloves, which don't matter much, but I'm bothered about shirts. So, how do you find out if you have it? There's a test often used in schools which shows 2 big circles with a red 9 on a green circle and a green 7 on a red circle. Inside these are more circles, and if you're colourblind, the numbers aren't visible. Friends who took the test found it easy, even boring, but for me, it was a challenge. It's much rarer for people to confuse blue and yellow, as I do, or pink and blue than green and red. That's the most common form of the condition. I couldn't believe that many people think that someone like me just sees everything in grey. I don't get that. Okay, so what are the issues involved in living with the condition? Well, think about sport. How do you know who's on your football team if you can't see the colour of their kit? Or of the card the referee is holding up after a foul? I felt very foolish once in a match when I didn't leave the pitch after I got a red one and got told off, and it's always like that. Food's another issue. You can't see whether meat is cooked properly, and I can't tell the difference between tomato and brown sauces. You can imagine the look on my little sister's face when I put chocolate sauce on my dinner by mistake. Not a great feeling. I can't see the difference between ripe and unripe bananas either, so I try not to eat them at all. There are ways of getting round these problems. One strategy I use is putting all my blue t-shirts in the top drawer and white or yellow ones in the second drawer. But think about electrical devices, like a laptop or mobile. They have red and green lights that tell you when the battery is low or it's on standby. They are really difficult for me. When I got a new tablet, it was always running out of charge, but now I check the icon rather than the colour. For traffic lights, I know the red is at the top and the green is at the bottom. Funnily enough, when we went on holiday to the US, I found that the words telling people when to go across pedestrian crossings were clearer for me than the symbols we use in the UK. Other people get their family involved. My cousin's colourblind too. His wife tells him if he's put on the wrong tie when he gets dressed for work, especially if he's going to a meeting. If he's away, he has a video rather than a phone call with her in the evening to check the colours of his clothes. On balance, I'd say that being colourblind has made me more open to asking for help, possibly more independent and certainly more organised. I find it funny sometimes, and now there's more awareness of the condition anyway, which is good.
Thanks, Andy. It sounds like...